Hello everyone, and today I'm going to write about my editing and book writing process. Now, obviously this is my first novel, or debut novel, and it is still to be seen whether it's going to be of any good or not, but hopefully I will help some of you in your quest to writing your own book, and basically just letting you know there is no wrong or right way of doing it, but I'll be letting you know how I do it and how it works for me. So my previous video spoke about the world that I built, and I built my world before my story because I knew the world that I wanted to build, but I wasn't actually sure on the story that was going to be taking place in it. So I first built the world that I wanted, being post-apocalyptic, and then I started with a character that I thought I would enjoy writing with, and basically just put them down onto the world where I wanted them to live and push their story onwards from there. And doing that almost organically allowed my story to flow and grow into something bigger. So I started off with one character and pushed her in certain directions, and she's kind of organically pushed this story and expanded, and now I've been able to make a plan for this possible 1 to 4 book series, maybe 3 book, I'm not quite sure, but I wouldn't have had this idea for this series if I didn't just sort of push forward with this initial character that I had. I couldn't have actually made this story if I just didn't write the character and just thought, okay, let's make a plan, let's see what I want, end result, beginning result, middle result. It never would have came to this sort of idea that I have now. So it was almost because I had just started writing my book and had no plan and was just pushing this character along, it has given me the ideas and generated certain results that has allowed me to develop this into an actual story and plan. Of course, there are some people that like to, make their end result and work their way back, or have certain plot points throughout the book, but at least for my first novel, this seems to have been the way. Of course, because it's grown into like 3 or 4 books long, it's given me no choice, not that I haven't enjoyed it, it's given me no choice other than to plan it now. So I started with no plan, but now I've had to plan it, because if I want the 2nd, 3rd and 4th book to make more sense, I obviously need to have this first book prepared and ready with all the hints and whatnot for the 2nd, 3rd and 4th book of what will be happening. And because of this, my editing process, I did start editing as I went. But because I was kind of making the story up as I went, I started to realise editing as I was going might actually be a slight waste of time, because I didn't know where it was going. So if I get to an end point and it's a completely changed story, and I might have to go back and either edit or delete certain chapters because it's taken a turn I didn't realise it would go, if that was edited, then I wouldn't want to delete it, because I'd spent all that time editing it and polishing it up. So what I opted to go for instead is write the content. Just keep writing and writing and writing and writing, and then I complete my first draft, and now I go back and edit. Of course, when I'm writing, there are a few bits I do go back quickly and just change and whatever, but for the majority of the time, I just had to force myself not really to look too much back on what I'm writing, just to get the bulk of the story and the content down, so I knew the direction of where the character was going in. Obviously, in my 2nd, 3rd and maybe 4th book, it's going to be slightly different because I have more of a plan now, so it should be quicker to write, and because I've got more of a plan, I should hopefully be able to edit as I go with it, but that remains to be seen. But I might look back in a couple of years' time and be like, wow, why was I editing like that? Why would I leave it until the very end to go back and just do my first edit of my manuscript? Or it could have been a good idea. I might still be doing it. There is no wrong or right way, but maybe there's a more efficient way. I mean, sometimes when I'm editing, I look back at these chapters that I've written, and there is some odd things that I put in, and I'm thinking to myself, why? Why would I put this in? Like, there is an idea or a scene in it that makes no sense, or is just completely stupid, so I delete it. Now, if I edited that at the time when I was writing it, would I have thought that was a stupid idea still? Or was me back then writing it thinking, well, this is a pretty sick idea, I'm gonna keep it in? In which case, I would have edited it, kept it in, and now looking back over it, I would have deleted the edited chapter or edited part. So I don't know, I think in a way just writing it all and then going back and editing it, it's given me a long enough break to come back to it with fresh eyes, which is also always good and you should always do. So I don't know, bit of both. So yeah, for me, at least for this book, I've written it and the plan has kind of grown with me other than planning beforehand and sticking to it, and then I edit at the very end. But yeah, I mean, what do you get up to? Do you write and plan sort of as you go and then edit all together, or do you write and plan as you go and edit as you go at the same time, or do you completely plan it out and have this complete structure and write your story to this structure and I suppose edit on the go? Because it does seem a little bit efficient. I mean, you could write, edit, and then by the time you get to the end, you've already basically done your first round of editing on the book, so it's going to be in a much more polished state. I mean, still usually far from polished, but, you know, much more consistent than what my first draft is. But yeah, let me know what you get up to, and be sure to leave a comment below the video. Cheers for watching.